Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. This is John with Obvious Digital Presence and Web Design. Today, we're going to be talking about using Adobe Animate to make simple animations, specifically on a windmill today. This animation is actually included in the demo that first comes with the Animate package. But what I found is that a lot of the things that were developed inside there is very obvious to probably the people who produced it, to the people who are very well experienced with the program, Adobe program for Animate. However, for a lot of common users or first-time users, it presents a lot of confusion, complications, as demonstrations kind of do leave a little bit to be desired there. So we're going to go step by step on this process on making the windmill's blades spin in a circular rotation. Simple stuff, but really powerful too when you start developing your aptitude and knowledge base for getting these things started. So before we begin, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Tune in to us for more videos like this. We're going to continue to do these basic tutorials on a lot of these softwares, including other Adobe products, because we find that a lot of the beginner users really, it leaves a lot to be desired when they put out these tutorials. So let's go ahead and talk about it a little bit more. Okay, everybody, as you can see, we already have the windmill loaded. If for whatever reason you do not have this file, you can go ahead and click the link down below. You can download it, and then we can start working on this side by side. So this is going to be the initial building phase of what we're doing here. We're starting from the very beginning. Really, all we have are two elements here. We have a windmill structure, and we have a windmill blades, the windmill blades. If you look here, these are actually two separate layers. If you look down here on the bottom left, now these layers have to be separated, otherwise you can't animate it one without the other. So we want to make sure that in the future when you're doing animation products, you're using different layers to differentiate between the moving parts or moving features or functions of your background or of whatever it is that you're trying to animate to move. So just keep that note down there. Okay, because we're only animating the wind turbines that are attached to our windmill structure, we're going to want to go down to the bottom left of our window pane here. We're going to go ahead and click on the lock button associated with this layer. We're going to want to lock it because we don't want to accidentally mess with any of the features or functions that are associated or attached to that specific layer. So that layer is now locked. In order to animate any portion of this, we need to take what it is that we want to animate and put it into a box called a symbol or an asset called a symbol. So what we're going to do is we're going to go top left here where you have the little arrow with the little box on it, and we're simply going to highlight that. And as you can see, it's already lit up. Our center point of context is right here in the middle, which is good. That's going to be relevant later because that is going to be our focal point for the rotation, right? We want this windmill to spin round and round and round, and we want our focal point to be right there in the middle. So what we're going to do is we are going to select that, and we're going to go up to the objects, and we're going to select the convert to symbol. It's this guy right up here. We're going to hit the tab button there and convert the symbol. You're going to press convert the symbol. When that pops up, you can simply type in propeller. We'll put an S there. Okay. And we're going to save that as a graphic. So once we save that, you're going to see a bunch of little options pop up here. There's some additional. We're going to come back here in a little bit. For right now, we are done with that. In order to animate any portion of this, we need to take what it is that we want to animate and put it into a box called a symbol or an asset called a symbol. So what we're going to do is we're going to go top left here where you have the little arrow with the little box on it, and we're simply going to highlight that. And as you can see, it's already lit up. Our center point of context is right here in the middle, which is good. That's going to be relevant later because that is going to be our focal point for the rotation, right? We want this windmill to spin round and round and round, and we want our focal point to be right there in the middle. So what we're going to do is we are going to select that, and we're going to go up to the objects, and we're going to select the convert to symbol. It's this guy right up here. We're going to hit the tab button there and convert the symbol. You're going to press convert the symbol. When that pops up, you can simply type in propeller. We'll put an S there. Okay. And we're going to save that as a graphic. So once we save that, you're going to see a bunch of little options pop up here. There's some additional. We're going to come back here in a little bit. For right now, we are done with that. The next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to extend this timeline down here, right? Because in order to have the animation, we have to have some sort of a timeline. So for this one, we're going to go out to 240. So if you go to 240 over here, we're going to click the top one. The top one, remember, that is our propeller layer. That is our separated layer. That's our separated symbol that we've already designated as a special icon, right? That is our special interest portion of this that we're going to animate later. So once you select that, you're going to hit the Shift button, and you're going to select the right below it, you're going to select the building layer right below it. And once you have them both selected, you can see on my screen that both are blue. You're going to go up here and you're going to select the Auto Insert Keyframe. Once you insert the Auto Insert Keyframe, you're going to see these two gray boxes. Fill in the rest here, and you're going to have this nice long video that we're going to be working off of here. Now for the next fun part. We are going to begin the rotation. Okay, so the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to go up and we're going to locate the transform icon here. And if you can't see the transform icon, I'm going to give you a pro tip here. If you go up to Windows, you can actually look for different tools. So for whenever you're working on a project, if you get to a project and you determine that you have something in there that you can't find, you're having a tool that's being referenced, something that you just cannot find in any of the panes, if you go up to the window icon at the top, it gives you a list of all the different options, all the different windows that you can pop open. And specifically this one, when you first download Animate, the transform window is not something that's automatically going to pop up for you. So you're going to go and add that, and just for reference, principle of reference, down towards the midway towards the bottom is going to be the transform tool. You're going to click that and it'll pop this up for you. So for this animation that we're doing, we're going to make sure our point of interest is right here in the center. This is where our rotation is going to be. Everything's already set with that, so we don't have to do anything with that. We're going to go up here to where it says rotate, and we're going to type in 360. Many of you probably already see that 360 has already been plugged in there, but for the sake of this video, we're going to plug it in again. I'm going to hit enter. Now, there is a 360-degree rotation that's been programmed into this, and it's just a start. We're going to continue working from there. For our next step, we're going to go back down to these layer properties where we have the gray bars, and we're going to take this slider here that's currently at 240, and we're going to move it back one to 239. Really, we want it anywhere before, but just keep it simple. Let's just keep it at 239, which is one digit before the maximum length of this gray bar. So we're going to click it. You can see right here it says 239, and then we're going to look for an icon up here, and I apologize. Okay, in this next step, what we're going to do is we're going to go to this gray bar back here, down on top of the first layer. For our next step, we're going to go to the propeller layer, the gray bar for the propeller layer. And we're going to go ahead and click that. And we're going to move our bar from 240, where it was at, to 239. And once we move it to 239, like this, we're going to go right up above it where it says create a classic tween or create classic tween. And we're going to hit that. And you're going to notice that once gray area is now filled in with a purple box. This is exactly what we need. So then we're going to go back up here. We're going to make sure we're in properties. Once you're in properties, you're going to drop down, you're going to keep going, and you're going to look for tweening. In tweening, you're going to drop down to where it says rotate. You're going to do the drop down box, and we're going to have our windmill rotate in a clockwise fashion. So round and round it will go. So now that we've done that, we've selected our 360-degree motion, we've added in our action, our tweening, our rotation. We're going to go ahead and give it a test now and see if it's functioning. So at the top right, you see a little play key and it says test movie. We're going to go ahead and hit that and see if it's working. In this case, it's working beautifully. Our windmill is spinning round and round and round, and it looks really, really nice, right? Very simple animation, but still effective in the purpose that we were trying to animate a windmill to make all our Dutch friends happy. To put the final touch on this, what we can do with it if you want is we can add some color to it. So if you go back here to properties and you go to the drop down, the fourth tab usually to the right is going to be called dock. If you click on that dock and you go down, you're going to see a white color there, or it should be white for you as well. It's going to say stage. If you select stage, we can now change the background of our stage. We're going to change it to, we'll just change it to a light blue, light blue here. Let's see. There we go. That'll do just fine. And now we have placed our windmill on a nice blue background. We can continue to add layers into this. We can continue to add things and make a cool scenery in the background, make a bunch of houses with a windmill spinning, really whatever you want. Your choices are endless with this one. We can add a sun moving across the sky. We can continue to go on and on with this. And that's the beautiful thing about Animate. It gives you the ability to keep doing things beyond what is normal for animations, right? Very powerful tool and really not that hard to use once you start getting into the nuts and bolts of how to operate the system. So if you want to take this, now you're done with your project and you want to show your project off to your friends, you can go up to the top here where it says quick share and publish. If you click that, you have the option to share on social share. It's specifically called social share. You can click that and share it to a Twitter account or a YouTube account. Awesome things. And I guess they have some additional social media outlets coming, channels coming at some point in the future. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. This is going to conclude our session for today. I hope this was a helpful tool in your quest to better understand Animate and to use its functionality for whatever purposes or needs you have. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video. We're going to continue to do these videos as we go along, develop that knowledge of that basic awareness of the powerful functions that this and many other Adobe tools have. So thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you next time.